Sorry for the really bad angle, but I'm laying here and I'm gonna tell you a ghost story. So we're sitting here in the living room and I was editing a video, and guys, oh my God. So it sounded like somebody tried to jiggle the doorknob. Because I was married for so long and like, you know, lived with somebody who would come home randomly, my first thought was like, oh shit, husband's home. And then like that lasted about 1 second, and then I realized I'm divorced, not husband. What do I hear? And so basically my heart already sank, because it used to whenever my husband would come home anyway, because, you know, the abuse stuff. But like, unfortunately, that was the first thing I thought. Like, we never lived at this house together, but that was still the first thing I thought. But anyway, so my heart sank and I immediately ran up to, because for some reason, why do I do this? Whenever I think I'm in danger, like I get like buck now. I used to like go hide, but now I'm like, go fight. So I got up and ran to the front door with a weapon, by the way, but I still got up and ran to the front door, and I didn't see anybody. I looked back on the cameras, I didn't see anybody. The cameras didn't go off and say, because usually if somebody approaches my house, my cameras, you know, make a sound. I never saw anybody. Like, I actually opened the front door and looked too, and there wasn't anybody. But like now I'm like, what was that? Because it sounded like, you know how somebody, like, if you're gonna either put your key in a lock, yeah, Fairby got scared because I got scared. I don't know if she really got scared, but she was like on alert, and now she's very much in a help me position. But you know how it sounds whenever you try to put your key in a lock, and like, you know, you're kind of like trying to get the key in the hole, if that makes sense. It sounded like that kind of, or either it sounded like somebody grabbed a doorknob and turned it kind of. And anyway, either way, there wasn't a person at all. I didn't see anybody, which, I mean, wonderful. Thank you. There's nobody. Whew. My heart is still racing, and I know I'm safe. The bad thing is, like, it just catches you off guard. It doesn't matter, like, if you know you're safe, it's okay. Because still my brain's like, oh my gosh, we gonna get got. So that incident with like me not be able to figure out what it was, the thing that it's probably the clip right before this, but anyway, it triggered something in me. But I was fine. Like, we went for a walk and stuff, and then I was vacuuming a second ago and I just started having panic attacks. So now we're doing this. I think it's so crazy how stuff like that works. Like, I looked, there wasn't anything. We are safe. It is fine. Like, I know that, but like, it still doesn't matter. And that was like, I would say that was probably an hour and a half or maybe 2 hours ago. It took a while for me to have a reaction, and I kind of thought, like, the initial reaction, I kind of thought, okay, well, cool, that's it, because I kind of panicked at first, of course. Like, I think anyone would, though. If you hear something that sounds like somebody's opening your door to your house, like, of course you're gonna have a bad reaction to that. But I kind of thought that was it, and then I was vacuuming and I started having panic attacks, so I had to lay down. I have done a whole video on deep pressure therapy and like the actual benefits of it, but I think it's amazing how that does help me so quickly, because I don't know if it immediately calms me down, but I would say it's very quick, like within a very few minutes. I just wanted to share, because I feel like I try really hard to share like real experiences in real life with you guys, and thank you. And that's part of a real experience in real life. I do wonder what that sound was. I could never find anything in the house that made that noise, though. Like, I looked around, I didn't see anything that would have, made a sound like that. So I think it's a ghost, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I totally believe in ghosts. I don't think they're going to try to open the doorknob, though. Like, I think they just come on in if you want to. Little ghost story for you guys. So, sorry for the really bad angle, but I'm laying here and I'm going to tell you a ghost story. The area that I live in is like Civil War land. Like, there is a Civil War hospital not too far from here. Well, I mean, it's not a hospital anymore, obviously, but you know, basically there was some bad stuff that happened on this land. And just my whole entire area, not my house only, but you know, the whole entire area. Whenever I was growing up, we lived not too far from here, and that land was obviously battle land as well, but the Civil War hospital was really one of, I don't know if it's all of them, but anyway, there was one Civil War hospital that was very, very close to my other house, and the one I grew up at. And whenever I was little, we would hear stuff. It would be like horses. There weren't horses. There were no horses. We lived in a neighborhood. There weren't horses, but we would hear horses. And also like just weird stuff. Like I swear, oh, Fairby got up. I'm okay now. I'm not even playing, guys. Whenever I lived at the house that I grew up in, it was a 2-story house, and my mom and I would be downstairs, like in the kitchen or living room or whatever, and we would hear it sound like somebody walking upstairs, and there was nobody home. You know, kind of weird. I don't know. I mean, and maybe it wasn't walking, maybe it was the house settling, but it happened a lot, and it sounded like footsteps, and you could almost like hear, like, let's say it started over here and moved over here, which was crazy. And then also, I swear, my ex-husband and I, we were teenagers at this time, like we weren't married, we were like 15 or 14 when this happened, but we were in my bedroom and we watched the doorknob like turn, and there wasn't like anybody. I don't think anyone was even home. I don't know. There was like a few things that were weird. And then, okay, so there's that whole entire house. And then, it was a new build, so it's not like somebody had anything weird happen in there. It was seriously because the land. And that's kind of why I'm like, okay, maybe that was something here too, because this was a new build whenever I moved in, but you know, things can always happen. And then at the house that I moved from most recently, before I lived here, that definitely had some creepy crap going on. And I'll see if I can find the pictures, but there were certain rooms, like if you took pictures, you could see orbs. And I don't know if you believe in that kind of stuff or not, like, but you could like straight up see orbs. And I don't think it was because of Civil War stuff. Maybe it was, I don't know. At that house, we're pretty sure somebody died in there, and like for real, like inside the house, because it was a foreclosure and we bought it for like really cheap and fixed it up. So we suspected that somebody had died in that house. Like there were just things that were like weird that led you to believe that, like marks on the wall in certain places, and like, I don't know, it was just, there was some things. There was a handful of things. Future me jumping in because I forgot an important part. We would also smell cigarette smoke in the middle of the house, like all of a sudden, like somebody just lit up a cigarette. Anyway, it was just really weird. So anyway, basically I'm telling you guys like a whole long story to tell you that I believe that there are things in the world that are, or in the spirit realm, I don't know. I'm not familiar with like how to explain that and stuff, but I feel like there can be things. Basically, there can be stuff. So I would actually feel super comforted if I was like, oh cool, it was a ghost. Like that wouldn't bother me. Like that would be a lot more comforting than thinking somebody tried to break in. Because I also feel like, and this is going in a whole different way than I expected the story to go, but I also really feel like as long as you have good intentions towards things, and like you don't have bad intentions towards stuff and whatever, I don't know, I don't feel like stuff will mess with you in a negative way, especially if you don't try to mess with it. That's just kind of how I feel. So I might be wrong, I don't know. But I will say, whatever was at the other house, any of the houses that we've had that have had, like, for sure had stuff going on, none of them have tried to mess with me ever, like ever. So I don't know, that was like a totally random thing, and I was on the floor just like having a panic attack before this. So anyway, long story just to tell you guys, yeah, I don't know what that was, but it made me have a panic attack hours later. And I believe in ghosts. This is like way not how I planned on this vlog going. Y'all don't unsubscribe, just think I'm crazy if you think I'm crazy. But listen, so I was watching something on TikTok the other day, and they were talking about how I'm never going to explain this right, but they were talking about how it's not necessarily that there are ghosts, it's that there is like different levels of time or something. And so like everything's really here at the same time. I don't know what that's called, but I was like, that makes so much sense. So it's just like, you know, maybe you're here now and to you it's 2021, and then maybe somebody is here and it's like 1800s or something, but it's all like they're still living in the time, but you're just kind of time warped. I don't know. I can't explain that. I'll see if I can figure out the word for it, and I'll pop it on the screen if I can, because I don't know what it's called, but it was just really interesting to me, and it made sense. So if you know what that is, please leave a comment and let me know. I would love to learn more about it, but I don't know the right words to look it up. I've looked up a bunch of different things and I can't figure it out. I'm feeling better now. I'm gonna go make dinner, and Fairby's already eating. Ooh, I'm gonna show you guys what I'm having really quick, because I got these the other day and they're so good. So I got the, let's see if I can hold it up. The field roast, caramelized onion and beer sausages. And last night I had it with a baked potato and that was so good. But I think tonight I'm gonna have a salad because I also got stuff for salad. So I think I'm gonna make a salad and just do like a salad and then have that cut up and cooked on the side, kind of together. But anyways, all right, that's what I'm doing. And I hope you guys have an awesome night or day or whatever time this is going up. We'll see you soon. Bye guys.